The final aspect of diet that we'll cover is supplementation. Now, I want to make something super clear. These are totally optional. This is not something that's 100% required in order for you to see gains, in order for you to make any progress whatsoever. My go-to supplements would include, I'll write them out actually. These are all the ones I take personally. I got 14 right here. Again, it's optional. It's not the end of the world if you don't take these, but some of them it is really beneficial because your body does not produce it on its own, such as vitamin C, vitamin B12, magnesium, I believe. Multivitamin covers most of these vitamins, vitamins A through E through D through K, B and C. Omega-3s and fish oils help a lot, as well as vitamin D. These are things, and I guess electrolytes would be another thing too if you have an electrolyte imbalance. These things pretty much aren't produced by the body. Glucosamine, the reason why I have this here, helps with joints, so with joint health. Creatine helps build muscle, make your muscles look fuller and bigger and stronger. Pre-workout helps with energy or just some sort of caffeine supplement. Electrolytes, this is kind of covered in potassium and sodium, but I put this in my water. Where are my water? This is my water. I have electrolytes in here. I bring electrolytes with me wherever I go. Pro tip for just life in general, whatever you're doing, whether you're working your job, whether you're working at a computer, at a construction site, walking the dog, doing whatever you're doing in life, have a big water bottle with electrolytes in it that tastes good because you're going to drink a lot more water. You're going to get your electrolytes in. You'll never be out of balance and you'll never be thirsty. This is the life hack of life hacks. People want to talk about life hacks. This is it right here. Probiotic and digestive enzymes help me process my food a little bit better. Turmeric is an anti-inflammatory, so it helps bring down inflammation in the joints and overall in the body in general. Pretty much all of these serve their individual purpose. I don't just take supplements for the sake of swallowing a pill to make myself feel good. If I were to give my top 5 supplements, it's kind of hard to pick because each of these serve their individual purpose. But if I were to pick 5, and you're looking at this, like this big list, and you're wondering which ones to get, I would focus the first 3 on health-based supplements first, because if you're not healthy, then you can't really build muscle, can't really do anything if you're not healthy. The second one, I would focus on energy. And the third one, I would focus on building muscle. So let's do the health ones first. Which health ones can you get? I would say a multivitamin would be the first thing I'd look at. The reason I'd suggest a multivitamin is because it covers all of the bases. So it essentially keeps you from being deficient in a few micronutrients. And those micronutrients / vitamins would include vitamin C, vitamin B12. Usually the dose on here is pretty high. There is some vitamin D in there. There is a little bit of potassium, some magnesium in some of the multivitamins. Essentially, the entire goal of this is just to keep you healthy at a baseline. It's not to enhance your performance or enhance the way you live. It is just to keep you from being sick. The other 2 health supplements that I look at, honestly, I'd get another vitamin D supplement. So I double down on this because you can take the dose pretty high and there's nothing really bad about having more vitamin D. It's pretty hard to overdose on this, as well as having magnesium. Magnesium helps me sleep. Magnesium lifts your testosterone. Anything that helps me sleep better, helps me fall asleep faster. I would absolutely take this above pretty much anything else because, like I said, I'm a huge fan of things. One thing that you do that results in multiple benefits, sleep is one of them. So anything that helps me sleep better, that is going to be a huge plus for me. It also improves your ability to contract and feel your muscles during training. So that's a nice little benefit. Why not take it? In terms of our energy supplement, I'm actually going to take electrolytes. There's a really big reason for this. This absolutely plays a role in your training. It plays a role in your work. It plays a role in your thinking. It plays a role in your judgment and your rationality. If you get angry easily, being properly hydrated is everything. Absolutely everything. And so if electrolytes allow you to stay properly hydrated, because you might drink a lot of water, this probably happened to you before, you drink a lot of water and then somehow your throat still is dry and hurts and you're still thirsty. That could be a sign of an electrolyte imbalance. 2 of the most popular electrolytes are potassium and sodium, but there is more than a healthy dose of potassium and sodium, as well as magnesium and other electrolytes in electrolyte supplements. This is the one that I use personally, these Reelite Mango ones. Absolutely S tier, perfect electrolytes that I use all the time. Would highly recommend. The objective is to have electrolytes that taste good, because if they taste good and you actually enjoy drinking them, you are going to drink that water. Speaking of which, my water's already empty. I just finished it and it was full a second ago. We want to make sure that we're properly hydrated. Electrolytes are absolutely going to be my number 1 energy supplement. Pre-workout is incredible, but I'd rather stay hydrated than be caffeinated. That's just me personally. Finally, the muscle. This is a pretty obvious pick. I'm going to pick creatine because Studies seem to show that you can build an extra 1 to 3 pounds of muscle with creatine, at least in your first year. Some guys don't even build 3 pounds of muscle with a perfect diet and perfect training. So if you can get close to this, now around a quarter of people, quarter of guys will be non-responders, but for the extra 3 out of 4 folks, an extra 3 pounds of muscle sounds pretty nice to me. So I'd take that bet every single time. These are my top 5. I will take a multivitamin, vitamin D, magnesium, electrolytes, and creatine. If those are my top 5, I think I'm pretty happy with that. Like I said, each of these serve their individual purpose. I think glucosamine is absolutely underrated when it comes to joint health, because joint health is one of the things that is not looked at. But once you screw up your joints, once you screw up your shoulder, your elbow, your knees, you're done for. You're not building those back. It's not like muscle where it can regenerate itself, or you have some sort of muscle memory where the muscle after injury can get better and improve more than it was before. If you screw your joints, this is not really a joint, but if you slip a disc, if you bust up your knees, if you get constant tendonitis, it's pretty hard to bounce back from that. So joint health for me is an absolute priority. I just think the other 5 things that I've listed kind of outpace it just by a small amount. But if I were to add a bonus, glucosamine. And if I have to include just one more health supplement, I know I said top 5, this is more of a top 7. I might even replace multivitamin with this. It's going to be the omega-3s, because the body does not really produce much fish oils on its own unless you're eating tons of fish, but you'd have to eat tons of fish in order to get this omega-3. Omega-3s are going to improve your heart health and your brain health, 2 things that I prefer to keep around and at their best. So this would be honorable mention, possibly even taking the place of this multivitamin.